All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. How you living, buddy?
I'm not happy.
No.
We need to begin with an airing of the grievances, not directed at you, nor Gibbe, nor anybody that I value in this world.
Okay. You have the floor.
Thank you. We have got to do better as a society. We are losing our way, and obviously you're thinking this is going one way. It's not going that way, although it's true in pretty much all respects.
Yeah.
I've experienced something now twice. First time I thought it was a one-off. I thought it was in a single numbnuts bozo idiot acting alone. Okay. And now I've realized that there's an epidemic of this behavior going on, and it is enough to make me go completely insane. So one of Miss K's favorite things to hear me talk about, and you know this, we live in Northeast Ohio, is construction and how much it feels like they have just basically said, oh, here's where the Zaguras live. Here are the three routes that they take. Here are the three places they go. Chagrin Falls. They come on 422 to get out here, or whatever. And we're going to do construction just in those places to make it. And my path to Walden is blocked because they're doing construction on Aurora Road and on Liberty Road in Solon. So I'm being harassed by construction constantly.
I will just interject that I think if you live in Northeast Ohio, you feel like that always.
Right. Let's figure out a way.
It's just construction. It's just construction's a season.
Let's figure out a way. Let's figure out a way to do better.
Right. Yes, what have they done? I can't wait to adjudicate this.
Okay. So I've drawn a diagram.
You have diagrams.
So
I mean, this is incredible.
Here's what's going on. So on 422, for those who are familiar with 422, from Som Center to Harper Road, okay, there's construction happening at Harper Road on kind of where the freeway becomes basically a bridge for a second and goes over Harper Road. They're constantly fixing these types of things.
Yep.
So the right lane, eventually you have the left lane, barrels will come out, and it brings you into the right lane.
It's a 2-lane road.
It's a 2-lane road going this way. No, 2 lanes going same direction.
Okay, so it's a 4-laner.
Yes. So it's 2 lanes, then there's a big median in the middle. There's a big grass median.
Well, you're doing 422. You're not
422. Yeah, we're on 422. Yeah. So we're on a freeway.
Yeah, freeway.
It's a freeway.
Freeway. Yep.
2 lanes each direction on the freeway. So eventually they shut down the left lane.
Okay.
And everybody must merge in the right lane. It becomes 1 lane while they're doing construction over.
Yeah.
Okay. People
are
now taking it upon themselves, these vigilante traffic cops, I'm going to call them, to go in the left lane with a mile of open lane in front of them, and to drive at the exact same speed as the lane that's backed up single file to prevent people from using it. Morons. This lane is open. It's closed when the barrels are there. We have to get over when we get to the barrels. And by the way, if you allowed everybody to fill in here and then merge, this would be much more efficient. Instead, what you're doing is causing a 1.5 mile long traffic backup in the right lane, and then you've got some idiots who think that, and by the way, I pulled an unbelievable move today because I was not
This
having
happened to you last fall.
This happened earlier this year on 422 when they were doing it the other way. I'm like, what are these people doing? But today I've got to air the grievances. I don't get it. Listen, you can get mad, be like, oh, well, it's not fair. Nobody's making them be in the right lane here.
That's correct. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yes.
This lane is open for another mile. Open road.
Yep.
Fill it in.
Yep.
And then go over. It's like the people who wait at Cedar Road exit on 271 and they wait back up 1.5 miles in the right lane when there are 3 lanes, and you could just go up to the front and because people, when it stop, they separate and you walk right in. It's idiot. Sheep. Bah. These vigilantes. So
I know what's going on.
This guy's doing it, and so there's a guy in the front going 2 miles an hour and like weaving back and forth in his lane in a minivan.
He's preventing people from
anybody from going in the left lane. So there's a mile of road
that's unused.
So knowing that like right about at this point here,
so you're saying about halfway
is the cop U-turn area.
Yep.
And so I know I have a shot to get on grass, so I floor it. Go on the grass, hit that, and come back and pass him. And then, so now I'm home free.
So you're telling me there was a guy in the left lane, like blocking the left lane
for a mile.
So that people could not go faster, and then he was like the gatekeeper for the right lane?
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
My God.
This is what I'm saying.
I thought this is going to go in a different way. This is even more absurd.
Okay.
I thought it was just somebody over here in the right lane was not letting you people come in.
No.
That's normal. People do that all the time. It sucks, but they're idiots. But like, this is something else entirely.
No, he's blocking
He's
this
blocking
lane.
the left lane.
And so this is 1 mile
Oh,
of no car road.
is he?
I have no idea.
Mike DeWine?
I have no idea what they're doing. Again, idiot. Hey, you drive up to the barrels and then merge. And guess what? 2 full lanes. We're merging. We're moving. Everything's moving. It's happening. It's a wonderful thing. Instead, we're creating a traffic jam for over a mile unnecessarily. So I pull this move. I get out. He tries to floor it and cut me off.
Well,
I beat him to the point.
Sure
Thank goodness.
Sure
and then as I'm here, wide in the open road, numbnuts number 2 thinks he's going to come out now and be like, you can't do that. You can't be driving in a lane. The lane is open. I can drive in the lane.
So
That's the whole point.
What they would want is for you all to just get in line and leave multiple miles of open lane unused.
Yeah. So then this guy came out and I had to give him a little this, and he's like flipping me off, yelling at me. I'm like, I'm driving in a lane that is open for traffic. Once these barrels are here, can't do it. Yeah. Then I have to get over. But the fact that you are going to make it up in your mind,
that's outrageous.
Some rule that nobody can go up, the road's open.
I have never seen a left lane policed by a traffic vigilante before the way as you've just described.
It's not like when there's 2 lanes and you have people who are like, oh, I'm going to drive up on the shoulder.
Yeah.
No, this is a real lane.
It's a real lane, not a fake lane.
Right. All right.
Why is that guy? Well, it's impossible. I don't.
I wanted to. Part of me
in the
wanted,
right lane.
I wanted to interview this guy. I want to be like, what are you doing?
The guy in the right lane. This is a very common move here. Like, hey, I've been sitting here in this lane.
Because you're an idiot.
Because you're an idiot.
Because you're dumb.
So I've been sitting in this right lane for this long, and this is the way you do it, so get in line. I'm not letting you
in.
You're not going to cut the line. No, actually, I'm not cutting the line. I'm actually doing what it's supposed to do.
Wide open road. Driving up a wide open road, and then at the barrels, all merge. Because that's what I have to do. That's when the lane closes.
And honestly, if they all just did that, it would just move.
Of course.
It would just move.
Of course.
I've never seen a left lane. I mean, that should be.
It was a mile.
I'm going to say.
I cut off 5 minutes doing it. 5 minutes.
I'm going to say 12 years in Lucasville for the guy in the left lane zigzag.
He should be arrested immediately. I'm like, you're breaking the law.
Yes.
I'm actually abiding by the law.
Abiding by the law.
You're driving.
Yeah.
It is, folks, I don't know if you know this or not. It is as illegal to drive 20 miles an hour over the speed limit as it is to drive 20 miles under the speed limit for no reason.
For no reason.
This guy is actually driving.
And he's zigzagging.
55 miles per hour under the speed limit.
I've never seen that.
He would only go as the car directly to the right went. So when that car moved up,
what was he helping? Did he
up.
have some sort of an agreement with these guys?
I have no idea.
That they were going to let him in? Why are they letting him in?
He didn't want to be in. He wanted to be doing this.
He wanted to be a gatekeeper.
He thought, like, I'm sick of people driving in an open lane. Gibbe.
I've never seen anything like it. I don't understand the I've never seen the left lane guy. I've never seen that guy, like saying, you can't go faster than me.
It's unacceptable.
It makes no sense.
Like, we are in a unified front on this.
Jeez.
I also don't like the people that, and now I get it, that are just jealous they're not on motorcycles, so they'll get in a traffic situation like this, they'll just open their doors so like the motorcycles can't go through the middle. You've never seen that?
No.
And then they think they're heroes. I get it if I was trying to go on the shoulder and everybody in real lanes was not moving, that like, okay, I'm not special. This lane is wide open, folks. It is an open lane. And this guy zigzagging in a gold
Is he
minivan.
over the age of 60, do you think?
I will say this. I imagine when I tell this story, we all have a picture in our minds of this person, and it is 100% out of central casting for that person.
Yeah, we know
who
this is. Yeah.
Yes.
We know who this We know who this
And then the
person
other
is.
guy that came out in like a red pickup truck with a cabin on the back or whatever you call those.
Sure.
That guy that tried to block me halfway up my driving in the middle of a wide open lane on the freeway, right out of central casting.
Yes. You know, there's a rage.
I'm like, what? And he was so mad that I zipped him because, like I said, we have a little bit of get up in our car.
Yeah, you're not going to outspeed me.
By the way, I was 5 cars back when I did it.
You're just like, enough of this.
Yeah, and I'm like, you guys should all follow me.
Yeah, and they didn't.
They didn't have the foresight to use the area where there was pavement to the left to get it.
To get it. Wow. It's conclusive. I can't explain.
What are
it
we
other
doing?
than-
It's seriously, anybody out there, if anybody's listening right now, and you are
well,
like,
a great many are. It's the world's team.
I mean, it is the world's team. This is the world show. It's the show of record. Like, what sense do any of you make of what I'm saying right now? And
There's no sense of it
because there is no sense.
No, no. It's a, yeah. I mean, I understand why it all happens. I've never heard of the left guy thing. I've never seen that before. The left lane blocker guy, like running blocker, like in conjunction with the people in the right. So the idea. I don't understand though. Why can't he just go all the way to the front and then do it? Why is he hanging back, leaving open lane?
I don't know.
Who's he working in conjunction with to prove what point?
I don't know.
What is his win?
I'm sure upsetting people like me.
Well, you won.
I did.
So
sorry.
Suck it. I mean, I mean, deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. That's the way it goes.
Maybe he's a members only fan.
That could be. I thought about that.
He might be the one. He might be the one.
My hunch is based on the way that I envision this. Not.
No.
I would think not.
Yeah.
So I think I believe I have that.
You have that part right.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts. I've never seen anything like it.
So I was going to my PT, got a little back, working on the old back, keeping me ready for the wrestling and the golf and life. And like got on the freeway and I was going to be, it said initially I was going to be on time. Then I'm stuck behind this dude and now it's like you're going to be late. And I'm like,
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Here's what I would say and this wouldn't solve idiocy that you've just described, but I think what they should do when they go from 2 lanes to 1 is have a gradual speed decrease in both lanes so that you'd get a more natural. I think some people they panic when they go from like 60 to merge. They're not comfortable doing. I'm more than comfortable doing that. I think some people aren't. So just bring it down at the point of merge.
Well, you should be anyway.
So that people cross over and then it's fine. Same thing's going on right here. I mean, where do you get off to come over here? What's this one here?
237.
So you go 237. Yeah, I go this one here off the turnpike.
Bagley or whatever.
Bagley. Yeah, what a mess. I mean, it's a mess. It's back. Same thing's happening, and what you just described happening. They go from 2 lanes to 1. They got a giant arrow right before the light, so it's backed up underneath the freeway all the way to the other side. The entire right lane is wide open because people don't think that they can get over. So I went around and I wasn't able. I'm like, I'm not going to deal with this. There was a turn signal right, so I just went right and then snaked my way back through.
Yeah,
but it's like the exact same thing is happening. It's all over the place. These gatekeepers in the right lane, but a left lane gatekeeper is unbelievable, crazy.
It makes no sense. And it's been. By the way, this is not new. When they had it, it was reversed. The right lane was open. People would line up in the left lane for 2 miles on 422 before they had to get over.
There's no reason to.
Why?
Why can't you just?
It's like they see. It's like, oh my god, we got to.
What if I can't get in?
You're gonna get
You're
in.
gonna get in, man. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when you get up here, like I got up here, people are such bad drivers. There are huge gaps. I didn't even have to wait to merge. It was
and
just
quite
like,
honestly,
I
even if there
merged
wasn't
right
a
in.
gap, it should go you.
That's why it needs to be 2 lines. Boom,
Then
boom, boom, boom,
one
boom,
after
boom.
another.
Everybody's
and go.
moving, and it would create. By the way, if this line had the merge going on, that creates the natural slowdown into the merge, and you're all good.
You're good.
This is not hard, people. Help me, help you. Like, what is the deal? It's craziness.
Yeah, my grievance isn't quite that big. But yesterday on our afternoon off, yours was big and it's legitimate. Mine isn't quite that big. But I was playing NBC and I played the match. We were going to play our first full 18, start to finish. Every stroke counts. Let's see how this goes. He was ready to roll, prepared for it. He'd been playing well. I've had my elbows have been kind of hurting a little bit.
You're all messed
I'm all
up,
banged up. I'm all crooked. I don't know. And we were not playing at our club because we were hosting a junior tournament. So we played at a reciprocal club, and so we went and played. And no names, please, but we had a nice tea time and a way to go, and it was lovely. It was fun to play a new place. All of that was a win. And I'll get to the match in a second. But we were playing, and the group, it was really full, really full.
You just a 2?
Just a 2.
That's tough.
It is. And the group ahead of us was a 4. And then there was a 4 ahead of that, and then there was some space out in front that I could see looking down. And NBC says to me, we get on the 3rd, this group directly ahead of us struggled. All of them were really, really struggling, which is, look, man, I suck. It's a tough sport. It's really hard. Totally get it. And
Throw in the fact it's 95 degrees.
It was 95 degrees. And so all of these factors are counting in my head. And And they were really cool. They were like, hey, come through. Just play through. And I was like, good, but there's no place for me to go. So, like, even if we did, I really appreciate it. I'm like, no, take your time. Enjoy yourselves. But that's not the part. And they were very good. But this is the part that NBC says to me. He goes, Dad, this is the worst sport for people who are bad, but play it as if they are good.
Yes.
And I go, that's the perfect way to articulate it. And he goes, we were watching, they were playing from back tees.
Idiots.
So they were playing from back tees. Again, very, very kind, but they were playing from back tees, and it was clearly a match situation. So every ball was being looked for, every putt was being looked for. We were looking over putts and all of that. It was, I would say that it would, for sure, but I would say that it was probably working somewhere between 15 and 18 minutes a hole was kind of their pace, which was that's the edge of it for me. Like that's a lot.
That's 20 minutes. 20 minutes is bad. 20 minutes is a 6-hour round.
We teed off at 12:40. We were 2 holes in, and it was 1:30.
Okay, no, that's not okay.
So it was just like, so inevitably what we did is there was a place to go, and we just zipped
Cut
ahead.
2.
We skipped 2 holes. So we ended up playing 16 instead of 18, which was a huge win. By the time we finished, I looked over and they were on 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I'm like, this was the move of the day.
You probably could go back and find those 2 holes if you
they were
wanted
pretty
to hop
full.
in.
I just think there was a lot of people wanted to play. Yes, it was Wednesday, which is golf day anyway. So there was a lot of people out there, so it was fine. But I think the lesson, and this is what I told, what I told NBC is like, this sport has got to get to a point where you play appropriate tees and don't worry about the stigma around where the tee is.
Too much ego.
It's ego, and it's pride. You got to do Marcellus Wallace. You
can't. No vanity handicaps are the dumbest thing in the world.
We
don't have a vanity.
We had this conversation yesterday in our golf league, Hooligans League. I've been trying to kind of float this idea out that I'm like, instead of like, we have some really good golfers, we have some bad golfers, we have some golfers in the middle. But anybody on any given day in our league can shoot like a 44 or a 45. Like any of them. I've seen even the bad ones.
Yep.
Like, I'm not great. Like, put me on the right tee.
Yeah.
And let's get rid of the strokes. Because the good golfers are like we can't be giving strokes on a par 3. Like, which we don't do. We got rid of that.
Yeah.
But like if they have they're like I'm up against it. Like 7 strokes.
So how do you
there's
feel
a
about
stroke
that?
on every hole.
Would you trade strokes for tees as someone who's a great player?
Would I what? Trade
strokes for tees.
So
welcome back.
No, thank you. I got the most absurd. This is the most absurd thing I've ever heard of in my life from the Crow Lord. Nathan Segura, the get over you speak of isn't functional. What you want is the line skip. You want to speed past the long line of people waiting, then cut some guy off at the front because you believe your time is more valuable than the average Ohio poor that you're cutting. No more.
No.
Not. Wrong. There are 2 lanes that are open on a freeway. They should be used until
Both
one lane is not open.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying.
Yes.
All right. Continue.
That is.
Forget him then. Let's get back to.
Jeez Louise. That's.
Yeah.
Lucky I'm not like blocking you. It's ridiculous. That's like one of the most absurd takes I've ever heard in my entire life. BBF, be bad fast, by the way, if you're playing golf. So
that's it. Be bad fast.
I played in an event yesterday, in a tournament yesterday. 2 lovely gentlemen against me and Simsy. And they were playing the whites, and we were playing the blues.
All right. So So most have 4 or 5 boxes, and a lot of clubs like ours is adding another set of tees.
Like family tees.
Yeah, which is like in the fairway, like it's way up in the fairway. And when I play NBC, I say you can play for the juniors, whatever. You play wherever you want. And I only play 1 set back from him because I suck.
Yep.
I sure as hell don't play tips, and I don't play member. I play 1 ahead of that because I'm not any good. So there's no sense in me slowing things down from back here.
And that's fair. So in a tournament situation, this is the thing that I don't like, is that in a tournament situation, you have the give up for them to go from the blues to the whites is only a couple of strokes.
Yeah.
And off of their handicap. It's not significant at all.
Yeah, no.
The actual cost of their score is way exceeds what they give up in their handicap. So like if these guys had to play the blues, let's say they got they took 3 shots off their handicap from go the blues from the whites, playing the blues they would have scored 9 shots higher. because there are holes that they just wouldn't even be able to reach in regulation.
Sure.
At Walden, for example, the blues are 6,700 yards and the whites are 6,000.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge jump.
To give up a couple of strokes.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to play the same tees. That's why they have handicaps.
Well, hold on a second. You're saying in a tournament?
In a tournament, yes.
In a tournament, yeah,
yes.
yeah. But
when you're playing, if you're just playing, you play whatever tee is the most appropriate for you.
Fits your handicap.
Yeah.
If you're in a match play, what do you do?
So this was a match play. I think everybody should have to play the same tees. If we have to play the same golf course if we're competing. If it's a competition.
Well, but you're not if you're getting strokes. Like that's not the same golf course.
Yeah, if I'm playing UZ and I have a stroke on every hole except a par 3.
Yes.
And I'm playing the way I played on the back 9 yesterday.
I'm going to get smoked.
Yeah.
Smoked. But that's why I need you to play my tees. Because then it evens it out.
So one or the other, though, I think both.
Or I go up and play the whites.
Well, but then he's still getting the strokes.
He's going to get.
So you're adamant that you should play everyone in any sort of match or anything should play the same tees.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know that I can get there. But I see that from your perspective. I understand why you would say,
dude. I'm giving a shot to a par on a par
but if
3 to a guy who's.
If I get rid of the handicap.
But you're not getting rid of the handicap. So this is what I'm
saying. The handicap's just different.
So he was getting 8. They got 18 and 14 from the whites.
Mm-hmm.
They would have gotten 21 and 16 from the blues.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that all day. They wouldn't have been 3 shots worse from the blues. They would have been 9 shots worse from the blues.
Right.
The give up to go up for them is not reflective of the challenge.
That the handicap should be reflective of the give up. Then the handicap isn't the way that this is set up. Then the handicap's not kind of a true handicap.
What I'm saying, I don't think that they factor in. They don't factor. I don't think the USGA does a good job of factoring in on the handicap. If we were all on the whites, it would be one thing. But the give up from the blue to the whites when you're playing somebody who's still playing the blues is not reflective of the actual give up. The handicap they were gaining basically 9 shots and only giving up 3.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's true.
If they gave up 9, if you go up to the whole net, I mean, think about it, you're taking 700 yards off of a golf course, 600, 700 yards. That is significant.
It would be nothing like though if I were playing you to give up 1,000 yards.
It would be.
No, it would not. You'd smoke me.
Not with the shots.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't take the shots.
No, people. There's no way. People have to take their shots. They have no chance of. They can play from starting on the green, and I might beat them.
Well, maybe, but maybe the shots that you give just needs to be less.
Well, right. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The give
so
up.
If you guys play the 6,000, you play 6,700. Instead of it being, what did you have it?
It was 18 and 14. It should have been 9 and 5,
or even 11 and 7, or whatever. Make it more doable.
Yes.
Yeah, it just needs to be a little bit more fair.
A bigger give up.
Either way,
that's what I'm saying.
When you're bad, if there's a bunch of you that are, move it along. The poor kid, it did not start well for him, and he was kind of cooked right away.
I knew
quite honestly.
I knew you got it out. You weren't going to lose that.
Yeah, I was way ahead on the front 9. He was shook, and then I consoled him as we went to the back 9. And I only got him by 2 shots on the back 9, and it came down to the last 2 holes. I had kind of a downhill, maybe like 12, 15-footer for par on 18 that went in, and he bogeyed, and so that kind of sealed it. But we went into 18 with a chance. But it was fun. It was great, and I told him the same thing with hoops. Like, you're going to get me, just not today.
Not today.
It's coming. So we held him off for one more. So that was a nice little. That was a good little day off, or good afternoon off, as it were, on that side of things. I have to ask you about Willie Mays.
Sad.
I would assume for Pedro had to be a short list of heroes.
Yes, in fact, probably the first. I love to give like meaningful memorabilia gifts. People, the first ever meaningful memorabilia gift I ever got anybody was I got my dad a frame signed picture of him catching the Vic Wirtz long drive to center signed by Willie Mays. And so, yeah, my dad loves him. He's sent me probably 1,000 articles since his passing to say, "Hey, kid." So yeah, he was a revered figure in my home growing up.
Was he the first Bay Area icon, sports icon?
I would think so, right?
I would think
so.
I mean, they brought him. That's in the 50s when they come from New York to San Francisco.
Yeah.
At that point, baseball obviously is king of the world.
Yeah,
and he's the best player in the world. Most people consider him the best player of all time, on a short list of best of all time.
Like those guys were, yeah. Was like Y.A. Tittle with the Niners at some point?
I don't know. I thought he was with the Giants.
I thought so too. I don't know.
I
That name pops in my
NFL
mind as something my dad talked about.
Wouldn't even have had it.
No.
Not even in the same realm
No.
as the rest of it.
There
Are
we
we?
go. Yeah, you
there's
were.
some shorting there.
Yeah.
I noticed this happening here.
Yeah, and you're not touching anything.
No, I'm not.
I don't know. I've replaced.
I know you have. I don't know. This happened when we were in here Tuesday too. I did not. Am I on?
Yeah.
Do we have it now? Boy, it's really. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good right now.
Right
All right,
now,
I'll do this real quick. I did not grow up in the Bay Area, so I don't have any sort of personal connection to Willie Mays other than this. My grandfather was in World War II. I was infatuated with World War II from a relatively young age. He was not really keen on discussing it. So he was a very lovely man. He was a very warm man. He was fun to be around. Didn't see him too much, even though we lived very near each other. But he would not discuss World War II much. So much so that he had helmet. He had a German Luger. He had a sword. He had a helmet. All of this stuff. He kept it in a chicken coop that they got rid of the chickens at the home place. It was just acquiring dust. And my brothers and cousins and I would like play. Quite honestly, we'd play Cowboys and Indians with it. Like we'd wear it and shoot, and that was it. And that was kind of the way about it. But the one thing that he loved was baseball. And my dad would tell a story about when he was a kid. In those days, a tractor was open air, so there's no cab on the tractor.
Yeah.
And he would take this giant radio out, and he would put it on the front of the tractor, and he would listen to baseball games in the summer. And you could hear it echoing. My dad would say you could tell where Grandpa was by wherever the sound of the baseball game, whatever coulee it was echoing down, he was up there somewhere doing the work. And so he would talk baseball. When we would have a catch, and when we had a catch, we would have to play with his gloves. So he had these 1950s gloves with the webbing, so we would have to play catch with those. And he was a Yankees guy. So he was a Joe D, and he was a Mickey Mantle guy, and the one thing that we would have fun with, and I was contentious at a young age and argumentative, and so I'm like, he would always talk so much, and as my kid now would say, glossing the Yankees. So I'm like, there's got to be somebody that I can argue is better than Willie Mays and Joe DiMaggio. And in those days, kids, we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Or Mantle, yeah. Well, it's DiMaggio and Mantle.
Yeah.
Like that. And so I said, we didn't have the internet. You couldn't Google it. I didn't even have a sports almanac. I wasn't Biff from Back to the Future.
You needed a baseball card.
I didn't have that.
Okay.
They had none of it. So what I would do is I remember going to like the encyclopedia and baseball, right? I'd look up baseball, and then you'd
Encyclopedia Britannica.
read it. You'd read it.
Yeah.
And my winning argument was Willie Mays. 3-0. I never have to look it up. 301, 660, 300 stolen bases, 12 gold gloves, 24 All-Star games. You say, well, how do you play 24 All-Star games in 18 seasons? Well, they had a midsummer night classic and a postseason All-Star game, both. And he played in both because he's Willie Mays, and that's what you do. And so he was my trump card to my grandpa, was he would go Mantle, DiMaggio, and then we would always have that greatest living ball player thing. And finally, my grandpa died in 2008, but Mantle died when I was in high school, and it was like a big win. I was in high school, and he was like, well, I guess Willie Mays can be the best living ball player now. Like that was his answer to that. So when that
Willie
happened,
Mays was your guy.
Well, he was I would always argue greatest, and then Griffey wore 24, and Barry Bonds wore 24, and it was always in homage of Willie. And obviously, when Barry went to the Giants, he had to wear 25 because Willie had it retired, and all of those things. So, he was the answer. He was the win over my grandpa. Was that?
What did your grandpa think of Roger Maris? He's not as beloved by Yankee fans.
No,
as
he was. It was Mantle and DiMaggio.
Yeah.
It was Mantle and DiMaggio especially,
Yeah.
but then it became Mantle.
DiMaggio is part of Americana.
He was, yeah, and he was probably the coolest. And it's got me thinking, like they used to have that conversation, like who's the greatest living ball player. That was something that you'd have that talk, and I don't know if people have that talk anymore. I would assume is the answer Ken Griffey Jr., Albert Pujols, is that the answer to that now? I don't know. Well, you say that, but I don't know who it would be other than
Pujols.
Oh, dude, Pujols is nuts.
He's a stud.
He's one of the best hitters.
No,
does he have any gold gloves?
I think you'd be. Does
he have any
blown
gold
away
gloves?
by Pujols' accomplishment?
I don't have an answer. Hold on.
I think
Pujols is very good. Great hitter.
He's 600 home runs. He's 3,000 hits. Yeah, 3384, 703, 296. 2-time Gold Glove, 3-time MVP, 11-time All-Star, 6 Silver Slugger. Yeah.
Good.
Better than you thought, right?
Yeah.
703,
3
300,
MVPs, I didn't think.
3,384 home runs. Or hits,
Best
rather.
living, though,
I'm waiting. I mean, I don't know who it is. I mean, he's going to have, statistically, I bet he's the one, other than Bonds.
Bonds.
But what do you do with Bonds?
I don't know.
Bonds is the answer, but I don't know what you
Yeah.
do. Bonds was just shy of 3,000 hits, 2935. Isn't that weird he didn't get there? 298.
Because he got walked all the time.
Honestly, Pujols isn't far from him. They basically have the same batting average. Pujols had more hits. Bonds had 762 home runs, but Pujols had 703.
What's the Gold Glove situation for Bonds?
Gold Gloves for Bond is 8
Okay.
versus 3 for Pujols. Yeah,
How many MVPs?
7.
7 MVPs? Okay, well, that's the answer.
Yeah,
And-
but he has that part. It's all there.
The thing about that,
I don't care. I'm just saying,
Yeah. No, I get it.
Pujols did
There's
it
an
in an era
asterisk.
where they tested
Yeah.
for that stuff, and if you got pinched, you were out.
Yeah.
So, I guess if you're going to give Bonds a pass and you got to give Alex Rodriguez a pass, you got to do all of that, which is, I don't know. I don't
Maybe
really
I'm
care,
crazy,
but
but you still have to hit a pitch, which is not easy to do. And Bonds did it when he was juiced, but look, how many times was he walked compared to Pujols? Can you look at that in his career walks?
well, there was a time there where you just could not.
They wouldn't pitch to
Like
him.
what's the new stats that they love? The OBP
On base
or
percentage
OPS
plus slugging.
Yeah, so that's otherworldly for him. Let me see if I can pull up a walk. I don't know if I see.
You have a pro
I
baseball
mean,
reference?
I got it up right now. He led the league in walks basically every single year.
Yeah.
Is what it was. I would
And
assume
still
Pujols
hit.
had
That's
a lot
what's
of them, too.
it's crazy. He'd still hit. Think about how good he was. And I'm not like a Barry Bonds guy at all, but I was a McGuire guy. But he was unbelievable. They were afraid they would walk him.
Yeah.
There were times when he would be walked intentionally with the bases loaded.
That happened once. Tony La Russa did that. Did that
I
one
loved
time.
La Russa for a while.
He walked that way.
I think he kind of lost his way a little bit.
Yeah.
Got a little
Probably.
crusty.
Little crusty in the end. Yeah, I mean the OPS plus that they're pretty similar. Bonds is more for sure. Yeah, but those are probably the answers. Are those type of guys because there's, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, like those guys way back. But
I think when we were kids though, there had to be some other dudes or beasts.
I mean,
Pitchers
George.
like
I mean, the guys that were in the
Pedro
80s.
Martinez,
it was Ricky
Greg
Henderson
Maddux,
was
Ricky
probably
Henderson.
would be on a short list.
I love Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson was probably the best one from when we were kids. He was probably the best player. But that was a non-power era too. Like nobody hit. I mean, you'd win the home run title hitting 37 home runs. Like it was a totally different.
George
sport.
Bell.
Yeah, for sure. With the Blue Jays, like those type of guys, they don't.
What was
all
the
of
other,
a sudden it became.
What was the other guy that was? The other guy that was with the Blue Jays that was a home run hitter.
Oh, he hit the walk-off home run in the World Series to beat the Phillies. Joe Carter.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about not being the long ball, like Wade Boggs.
Yeah,
Wade Boggs. Tony
Like
Gwynn.
328 career, over 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
5-time batting champ.
Yeah, George Brett's a 3,000 guy. He hit 390. He's the only guy to win a batting title in 3 different decades. Like there's some of those guys from that era that were pretty great, but they weren't like the comprehensive, kind of check every box 5-2 the way that Mays was certainly. I look forward to that. That's great.
They're like that. Anybody
I
who
like
likes
that.
food or wine, Jim Harrison, New York Times best-selling author. Was that Legends of the Fall? Or
Legends of the Fall. Yep.
Wrote that. This book is awesome.
Yeah, I
You're
look
gonna
forward to
love it.
that.
It's got some
Yeah.
good quotes on the back.
Yeah,
Get you going.
that's Livingston, Montana, right there.
Yeah.
Where that is. All right, Madden 25 official revealer trailer drop today. D Hop is the first one we see, and he's kicking off to Justin Fields. They did that. By the way, Fields, in all seriousness, if they actually put him back there, he'd be quite dangerous.
Yeah, I don't
He's
see
a
why he
pretty
wouldn't
good. Yeah, he's a pretty good for one guy to tackle. He's a tough guy to bring down, and you could also run reverses out of
could
it.
run all
where you
kinds
could
of-
spin it back the other side.
Yeah. You have two returners.
Yeah.
Maybe they will. Maybe they will.
I don't know if he's not the starting quarterback. I don't know why you wouldn't.
You can't say you wouldn't. By the way, last thing I'm going to say about Traffic Gate. is I have had a great deal of support. I thank you, all the wise people out there. That literally the Ohio Department of Transportation has asked people to do what I've described, which they call the zipper merge method. It is on the Ohio Department of Transportation website to do this. So
yes,
there you go.
I just think people, they just are ignorant to it.
I just don't.
We've been over it, but I think that's it. I just think they're ignorant to it. They're not aware that that's
I just
the right
don't
way to
understand
do
what
it.
makes, number one, the majority of the people immediately get into the right lane miles ahead of when they have to. I don't understand what compels them to do that. And then I don't understand the guy that was vigilante, traffic guy.
That's the one that's the guy I'd like to interview. Those are your hot topics of the day presented by University Hospitals. Coming up next, we'll go around the sports world. It is a mailbag day too, is it not? Yes, it's a mailbag Thursday. Get your questions into Gibbe, and we will tackle those coming up at 2:30. We're off and running. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Browns fans, check out Vivid Seats, official fan experience packages for this season's games. Purchase Vivid Seats Terrace Experience seats, score club access, parking, and pregame field passes all included. Visit vividseats.com to learn more. Seeing here in the last couple of minutes or so, actor Donald Sutherland has passed today as well. His son Kiefer passing that along.
Yeah. That's a big one there. That's a big one. Donald Sutherland was clearly and for a while very iconic in many movies, probably in more movies than people even realize that he was in. And it's sad. I mean, he had to be a little bit of an older guy,
88,
right? Yeah. So solid, I'm sure very rich, full life as well. But sad nonetheless.
The original, here's your hot take of the day, the original MASH movie is better than the series.
The original MASH movie is better.
Wow.
That is a pretty hot take.
Yep. It's better. He's in it. He's great. He's the original Hawkeye in that one. That's a good one. Really good one.
So I'm trying to think. My favorites Donald Sutherland roles. Oh, he was good in the Hunger Games. He is despicable. Animal House, obviously, I think is probably one of the true classics.
Well, a professor in that. He's the professor who's...
Yeah.
It's an Otter's Girl?
Yep.
Yeah.
JFK. He's good in JFK.
He's really good in Backdraft as the arsonist.
Backdraft is
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Did the fire look at you?
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while, though. I haven't seen him in
No.
stuff in quite a while.
I'm looking at here kind of like he's in the newest Hunger Games, 2023. Mr. Harrigan's Phone, 2022. I've never heard of that. I mean, he's been acting since the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's pretty steady all the way through.
Very steady all the way
It
through.
credits him. It said there was a Backdraft 2 in 2019.
Yeah, it says he was in it.
Really?
I didn't
What
see
was
that.
that all about?
I don't know that certain movies don't need to be remade.
No,
we're going to
you
talk
don't need
about one of them right here.
I think just once is enough.
Yeah.
There's got to be some stuff I'm forgetting on.
He was in The Dirty Dozen.
So the news led with star of Animal House and The Hunger Games.
I never saw.
I'm sorry, it said star of MASH and The Hunger Games.
Yeah, MASH is what.
Hunger Games is good.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not seen that. I'm trying to see if there's anything in here that I would have seen him in.
Outbreak.
Oh, Time to Kill. He was really good in
Yep.
Time to Kill.
I got a movie for you for NBC if you guys haven't watched it yet. And I
Yeah.
know you know the movie, but I guess it was just the anniversary. My dad just sent me an awesome article on it, which is Dodgeball. I don't think there's anything in there that.
A little bit of Whit Goodman stuff, I think, maybe with was it Christine Taylor, his actual wife, Ben Stiller's actual wife.
yeah.
There might be a little that.
Maybe a little talk, but I mean, nothing
Yeah.
that they
Nothing
haven't
he
heard.
hasn't seen.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Say.
No, certainly not that. All right. Around the sports world, the Broncos are hiring former Stanford head coach David Shaw as a senior personal executive. Shaw has worked with Broncos head coach Sean Payton previously as offensive assistant with the Eagles in 1987. He was a guy who could have had NFL head jobs 4 or 5 years ago. David
Yeah,
Shaw.
that was the thought at the time for sure.
Yeah, he was absolutely in there. This one, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce will star in a Pepsi commercial that promotes the sequel to the movie Gladiator, which is set to be released later this year. The commercial will premiere with the start of the 2024 NFL season.
Okay.
They're making a Gladiator 2?
That's what I was saying. I feel like is unnecessary. Is Russell Crowe involved with it?
I don't know.
Because I read somewhere, and so it must be true, that he was not thrilled with the idea of a sequel being made. I mean, it won.
Well, okay.
It won Best Picture.
It looks like it's okay. So from an IMDb, I'm on the IMDb of Gladiator 2 right now.
Yes.
Ridley Scott is directing it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Denzel Washington,
All right, just look at that.
Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen. So she's back. She was in the original.
So Russell Crowe says this is from Deadline, says he is slightly uncomfortable with the Gladiator sequel. A couple of things I've heard, I'm like, no.
But it's got Denzel. Like, doesn't that legitimize
Said I'm
the
slightly
operation?
uncomfortable with the fact they're making another one because, of course, I'm dead and I have no say in what gets done. But a couple of things I've heard, I'm like, no, that's not the moral journey of that particular character.
Oh, settle down.
But I can't say anything. It's not my place. I'm 6 foot under, so we'll see what it is like. I mean, that's one of those things. So Gladiator 2 first look gets thumbs up and loud cheers from at CinemaCon. That movie is so good
It is. Yeah.
that to take that on is a serious undertaking.
It's got to be a good script or Denzel's not doing it.
So, and then it's going to be stunning.
So then it'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah. But I almost think like What's the continuation?
Just tell a different story.
Right. Just what's the continuation going to be?
I don't need a continuation. Just tell me another story in that world. Like I don't need.
Agreed. I'm with you.
I don't need more of it.
They're making some new Thrones series. By the way, you see that?
The
Well,
original
7.8 million people watched that thing on Sunday,
Yep.
so that was kind of how that was going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, the original Gladiator won 5 Oscars.
No, it's-
like
yeah.
it's not
Best Picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like best picture
Yes.
and all that. Yeah, no, it's great.
It's incredible.
best actor in a supporting role, best director, best writing, screenplay. Like it better be a whale of a follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also any period pieces are timeless. You know,
Totally.
because technology
Totally.
and in those instances they were actually doing those set pieces. It wasn't green screen, so
Yep.
it even more impressive. Here's another hot take for you. My favorite part of that movie is the first 15 minutes.
Of Gladiator?
Yeah.
So
I love
that's
when
the-
they're in Germania
the-
and on my signal
Unleash
Unleash
Hell.
Hell. And then the palace intrigue about Maximus, it has to be you, I just want to farm, all of that. I love that. First 20 minutes, I love it.
I like
they
when he's
burn it all
I like
down
when
in
he's
there.
gladiatoring because
It's
there's
all
also
great.
there's real tough stuff in there in those once he
Well, up until then
it gets dark.
then it gets quite dark. But up until the dark part, I really like it. Like the way they introduce Joaquin Phoenix, that whole thing, like that all.
I love when
that
Joaquin
part.
Phoenix shows up and he's like, "Have we won?"
Have we won? No, he goes, have we? What did he say?
Something the battle, and they're
Have
like,
I missed? Have I missed the
"Have I
battle?
missed the battle?
You've missed the war.
You've missed the war." And they're like, "What he goes?
He
We'll
bends
slaughter a bunch of bulls for Mac." And the guy goes, "Save the bulls, honor Maximus."
Honor Maximus.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Is that Richard Harris? I think he's the.
I think
king,
so.
The
Yeah.
he's the boss guy in that.
Yeah.
So that's very good. No, that one there's really no need to. I think you could always do like a prequel to that, like Maximus's general journey and all of that,
Yeah.
and their conquers and all of those
I mean-
things. That show Rome on HBO had a lot of that. That was great.
Yeah.
That was a really good show.
The
That
first
had some
season
gladiators.
specifically.
First season's unbelievable. And that had a lot. That had some gladiator stuff in it as
Yep. Oh,
well.
baby.
In that one, Pat McAfee may not be returning to College Game Day this season. He's yet to sign his contract. There's a lot of sports media stuff going on at the moment. So there's this McAfee thing with Game Day, and I mean this is a world I navigate quite often. He was a shot of adrenaline to that show, and if he's not on it, then I think they almost need, as popular as that show is, they almost need him more than he needs it, because they've got an aging Corso who's 88,
Nice.
and you can't. I mean, it's just getting to the point where like he does the first 5 minutes and he does the headgear and that's it. And Herbie, helps him along, but it's tough. And McAfee provided that. I mean, there's nobody else on that set who's going to jump off of a riverboat into the Tennessee River. Like that's you need to have that color of the sport. So I think he's in an incredible position of power. And I think it's really smart that he basically has negotiated all of these things kind of individually, like his radio show simulcast individually,
Correct.
his WWE stuff individually, and then and then to sign a deal with ESPN but have it only be for his show.
Yeah, smart.
Really smart. So now he can double dip on a lot of this stuff if he wants to.
Yep.
I just wonder how busy do you want to be? I mean, he's got a lot going on.
He's got a lot going on.
To be able to try and track all those things down. Go ahead.
I got one last thing from the sports world, which I don't think is in here. Did you see this? The kid who's going to Florida is going to be 7'9".
7 feet 9 inches tall.
Going to be the tallest college basketball player ever. Have you seen any of his highlights? It's absurd. They throw it to him, and he dunks without jumping.
Yeah.
He's going to the University of Florida.
He must not be a high-ranked prospect, though.
That's
Gators commit. There's been some recent hype on social media surrounding I don't know why that just happened. Recent hype on social media surrounding Florida basketball's towering 2024 commit 3-star center Olivier Roux of the IMG Academy in Bradenton. He is now listed at 7 feet 9 inches. As of last November, he was 7'6", representing a 3-inch growth spurt. He is on the Guinness World Record as the tallest teenager in the world, 7'9". Not much is expected of him. He's referred to as a developmental project.
he doesn't weigh anything.
No.
That's the problem.
He helped Canada earn the bronze at the Under-18 FIBA Americup, averaging 4.5 points and 4.5 rebounds a game. So some of the highlights are nuts, though, when they just throw it into him and he just turns around and just goes like this.
Yeah.
And just dunks it without jumping.
Yeah. There's just, it's such a, I mean, that's got to be the tallest player ever, 7'9".
Yeah, Murzon was 7'7".
7'7".
Big George.
There's just not a good way to have a long life or have a long athletic career with that type of height.
No.
No.
Not much precedent for it.
No,
at all.
there's not.
All right. I thought there was one other thing I had on the media side of it. Brady. Oh, yeah. Brady's doing Monday Night Football, and he was on with Cowherd, and he was talking about how it was interesting. He was talking about how he still yearns to please people so much. And I just thought, for a guy who's won 7 Super Bowls and he still wants to prove, and he needs affirmation. He was talking as soon as he's done some practice stuff, and as soon as he gets done, he wants to hear from people that he did well. And I thought, God Almighty, dude, you've dominated life as big as you can, all of it.
It is wild,
but he's still wired that way.
The problem is going to be if he's not all that we think or hope that he's going to be in the booth.
I don't really need him to be anything.
Wouldn't be the first guy. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I think one thing, when I was listening to him talk about it, and he's done a lot of media in the last week, I was listening to him talk about it. He talks all about his preparation and all of those things, and I'm sure he'll attack that with an incredible vigor. But the one part about it that I hope he doesn't get lost in is I hope that he has some humanity. I hope that he's a real football fan guy. Don't just be analytical on everything. You have to have some personality to it.
Yes,
you're carrying a lot of it as the color analyst on TV. You're painting big pictures. You're filling a lot of time because you don't with you and Jim. Jim has so much verbiage he has to get out just to let you know where you are in the game,
on the
play.
field, down and distance, formation, motions, everything.
Right, all of that.
Yeah,
the NFL, you don't have to do that.
No, Right, so as the analyst, you have to make a point in a few seconds because as soon as they start coming back towards the line of scrimmage, you have to be done talking. On TV, that's not the case at all.
Not at all. No, not. The other thing on the sports media side of things, I saw Stephen A. say that he doesn't think Charles will retire, and I agree. I just think there's no way that.
So why is he saying that he is going to?
I just think he got emotional. I think he looked around and saw all the faces from the NBA TNT, and he said, this is it. I'm going to do it. But you can only play so much golf, and he's in the most powerful position. Someone in his position has as powerful as anyone's been, like Madden or whoever, to where he's going to be able to name his number between ESPN and NBC. He can create a true bidding war. To me, the NBC thing is a no-brainer, like Basketball Night in America, and have him and build it all around him. That just seems like a no-brainer to me. So I don't know. I'm dubious to think that he'll retire as well.
By the way, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Oh my God!
I played it this morning.
Oh my God! Screaming A for the
so
walk
funny.
up.
Yeah.
Was Screaming A in the room with him when he's doing this? Yeah, that's what I thought.
He's yelling at him.
Oh yeah, he's in the back.
It's unbelievable.
So fun.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, big fan of.
You're gonna drop 36.
I love Doggy getting the second life on this, and
so
younger
funny.
people being exposed to him.
Yeah,
I think it's just great.
He's
absolutely great.
He's a fantastic ranter. He's an elite ranter.
Yes, he is, and he's also the personality that he's showing in all of this stuff is just absolutely stunning. I mean, he's with the gummies and all this stuff that he does in his golf course and his gummies and celebrating when his wife isn't around. Have you seen all this stuff?
Oh yeah,
his wife's out of town and he's celebrating that. I mean, it's just everything that you would want him to be for sure. And that was a very funny one. He calls him Stevie. He goes, Stevie. What are you doing here, Stevie? So good. So good. All right. It is an Ask CBD. It is a Mailbag Thursday.
Yeah, let's go.
I see some people get your questions in, and we will answer those coming up at 2:33. On that side of things, one thing I did want to pass along to you, provided our internet get there.
I don't know.
Get there once.
I don't know.
We're not uploading anything, are we?
There's no one here from football to take up the bandwidth.
In football? What do you want to do, guys? You want to have a slumber party? We could play football in the office.
We could.
I want to tell you about my team at Renew Home Exteriors. It's time to update the exterior of your home. Tired of the same old vinyl siding? You know that you are. Composite not only outshines vinyl, but it comes in 20 vibrant, maintenance-free colors to suit your style. Imagine a stunning exterior without the hassle. This month, when you buy a whole house of siding from Renew Home Exteriors, you're going to receive up to 100 feet in new gutters for free. Renew your home with Renew Home Exteriors, composite-clad siding. Renew Home Exteriors, superior products and superior service. RenewEstimate.com. Second hour coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in. Cleveland Browns Daily. We're brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And we head to the podium presented by Vivid Seats, official fan experience partner of your Cleveland Browns. It's our guy, linebacker coach Jason Tarver.
What's Jordan at?
You guys are down.
Jordan has seen almost everything in his years of experience, and he's the same every day. He's positive. He's direct. He makes things simple, and he's great to have in there because if it's like almost finishing my sentences already, which is rare for people that haven't worked together. So he's just impressive in how he carries himself, a pro's pro, and that's been a great addition to the room.
What do you think an encore from JOK is going to look like this year?
Well, we're still going to approach everything we're approaching one day at a time. Same process, which is get in great shape and go one day, one play at a time. Like today, he had a really good day of just going one play at a time. He had 2 really good breaks where he's anticipating the ball out and going. So we're just going to approach it exactly the same way because every year's different. Every year's different. Nothing that we've done before matters. All that matters is getting ready each day. Like today, we treat it as the first day of training camp because we got to be in better shape when we come back.
Over the years, talked about he's put on muscle, even though he's an alkaline vegan, and he's really made sure to try to get the game to slow down and be able to focus on things out there. How have you seen him develop and really tackle this role of being in the NFL and trying to get better each year?
Well, one thing that he's done is with his food consumption and things, he's got to make sure he's on schedule. He's gotten better at being on schedule. And so we kind of know where he is, and he just keeps going. So that's that part of it. The other part of it is what we just said. It's being able to go one play at a time and think about that my next play is my best play. My next play is my best play no matter what happened. Going quicker reactions from good or bad to the next play. And he's just gotten better and better at that. He continued to do that this spring. So he keeps going on this trajectory. We'll be happy.
When Anthony Walker left, you said that if he wasn't the best linebacker in the league, that it was his own fault. Do you see that type of potential for him, and where do you stack him up amongst some of the better linebackers?
Yeah, with his unique ability to see things and quick, like he picks up, you've heard from me before, he picks up everything. It's what clues do you want to use on certain type of schemes, because he feels it all. So a lot of times I just say, what do you feel? What'd you feel? Okay, do this. And the more he does that and goes one play at a time, I mean, I'm not going to predict. I mean, I'm not in the prediction business, but what I know is when that young man stays in that focal point and gets his body ready, he can really help us make plays.
Along those lines, this is like the most turnover. It seems like you guys have had personnel-wise in your room, just with Sione gone and Awak gone in the last handful of years. Like, how has Jeremiah maybe stepped into that leadership kind of old guard role, even though he's younger now? Like, he's one of the most seasoned vets in this system.
I do think, I mean, I love Anthony and Sione. They're 2 of my favorite people in the world. They really are. I'm really proud of them. So you guys better be playing good, too. But Tony Fields, Jeremiah, they've been here the same time together. Tony's really grown up as well. So it's been fun to watch Tony and Jeremiah because they'll compete to be first at things. But what we also have in the room is we have Mahmoud and Charlie that have been around for a year. So there's a lot, and the scheme is still here. So there's actually a lot of carryover. They competed all spring to see who could be first to answer all my questions. And you can probably tell I ask questions pretty quickly, right? So I mean, Charlie's first, then Mahmoud's first, then Jeremiah's first, then Tony's first, then Jordan's first. I mean, and that's how you want it. So our group, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, 2 years ago we had almost every linebacker. I don't even know how many go on IR. You never know. So we train everybody, and we want everybody interacting and answering questions. So Jeremiah and the guys are right in that. They're a lot of fun to be around. There's energy in there all the time.
So I wanted to ask you about Tony. What kind of opportunity does he have?
Oh, he's got a great opportunity. By the end of the year, Tony was our 3rd linebacker, and Tony got more and more consistent. Tony's really good at shedding blocks and running into things. He did that really well throughout his college career and when he got an opportunity in past years. Last year, he was able to get more specific in the pass game. And by the end of the year, he's some really good plays in the pass game. And he was our starting base linebacker at the end of that year. So now it's for Tone to own that role and get more and and keep going. He had a really good spring. So we're excited about where he's going, but he's on the right track. He's gotten stronger and quicker, and he does more flexibility things. Let's see what he can do.
How has Watson been since he got here? Knowing he was such a good tackler, obviously, in a tough conference, what does he maybe bring to the table, even though he's a rookie being 24, basically?
Yeah, he's very experienced, and what Nathaniel does a really good job of is not making the same mistake. And if you're a rookie and you can learn from your mistakes and not make the same mistake twice, he got better and better. Like he had a play today that was the same as one yesterday, and he corrected it. So if he keeps going on that, that's what rookies need to do, is don't be the guy that's making mistakes over and over, be the guy that's fixing things. The other thing with Nathaniel is he's played a lot of football. Like you said, he's experienced, so he sees things pretty well for a rookie, but like you said, a slightly older rookie in the NFL. So we like where he's going. I'm excited to see him in pads.
Yeah, he looks huge.
Yeah, I want to see him in pads.
Going off of that, how have you seen him, though, like kind of pick the brain of the guys that have been here, like JOK, Tony, et cetera, kind of with the other guys in the room as he's tried to learn the system? He's
very direct, and you said, Nate, you got that? And he says, yes. And sometimes that's all he says. Everybody else is like, yeah, I got you, coach. And they're happy. He just goes, yes, coach. But he's got it when he tells you yes, coach. So if he keeps that up, we'll be good. But he listens very well. He's quiet in the meeting, but he is picking up on everything. He's very quick. So he stays in that. Right. Keep doing it, Nate.
You touched on this a little bit when you were talking about having guys in that room for a few years. The NFL is not a very patient league.
Right.
But, a guy like Tony's an example of this, right? Kind of came in, I think it was like a 5th-round pick. It's taken some time for him to get to this point. How valuable has it been that this organization tends to be patient with guys and tends to let guys grow and develop? Like a guy like a Tony or even a Mahmoud or whoever.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're the whole evaluation process and everybody involved, we spend the time to pick them. And then that's awesome as a coach. Well, they're patient with me too, so that's good. But that relationship sometimes can be hard, and you got to build it really fast in the NFL. But the more you're around guys, because it still is a developmental league, we just, in our room, it's just about how good you're going to get and production, and it doesn't matter when you go in, you're expected to play, and everybody's treated. There is no depth chart in the linebacker room. We just go. And the guys that jump into that and just develop themselves get to build themselves into players, and that's what we're here for. That's my favorite part of a coach, is helping people do things together that they couldn't do on their own. That's why I do it.
It's not like that everywhere in this league.
It can be. It can move fast. I would say, from being a few of these teams, all 32 teams are different and how they approach everything. So really, it's almost like not a comparison. They're just 32 units that are all in their, however they decide to develop, that's where they are. So that's how I would answer that one.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
You're
off.
good.
Bigger picture, though, I guess, when you look at, you guys are going in the second year of Jim Schwartz's defense, just kind of another year in the system. How helpful is that, especially in mini camp and as you guys are prepping for the season, that you know the system, it's kind of been implemented, and now you guys are tweaking things and that kind of thing?
Yeah, like what Jim said, we're able to tweak things, but to what we've been talking about, the backers, like Jeremiah and Tony and Mahmoud and Charlie and all the guys that are coming back in, they know those words already. So there's not the transfer of language, if that makes sense. We're not transferring an old word for a certain technique to a new one. We already know that, so we can move quicker. So just like when I was explaining the questions, when they're competing for the questions, they already know the words. So that's what happens in your first off season, and I'm proud of the guys for how well they've done, especially on the stuff we did last year. Because that's why you have coaches, that's why you practice, is to get the new stuff and get it done. But it's definitely helped. Biggest thing is language and what they're expected to do.
Is Jeremiah, I was trying to eyeball him and I couldn't figure out, is he a little bigger this year, or is he about the same size as last year?
He's doing well right now. He's right on his progression. He knows where he wants to be for camp, and he's right on course to get that.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you,
five
thank you,
guys
thank you.
2 years ago with season ending.
Yeah, I can't
I used to be
remember
able to name them.
All right, there you go. Tarv at the podium. Always good to hear from Tarv. Coming up next, we will guess the top 10. This is a new little segment that we've been doing this summer. It's a lot of fun. We'll have some fun with it.
I love it.
There you go. We'll have some fun with it coming up next. Still time to get your mailbag questions into Gibby as well for the Mailbag Thursday coming up in about 17 minutes from now. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Bo here for my great friends at the James B. Beam Distilling Company. Sunny, hot days call for refreshing cocktails, which is why Basil Hayden's mellow, refined, subtly sweet bourbon is the perfect choice for your summer entertaining. Basil's the approachable, lighter side of bourbon distilled with a higher percentage of rye. Gives you that spiciness, perfect for setting the tone of the season, from hosting backyard dinner parties to happy hours on the patio. Beach days included. Enjoy time with friends with a more approachable, sophisticated bourbon. Head over to basilhaydenbourbon.com. Check out their cocktails for your next gathering. Hello, Gibby. Nope.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello. A Brock list on a Thursday.
A Brock list.
A Brock list.
Sounds like
I like
broccoli.
it. I like it.
Year-end top 50 NFL player sales list.
Okay.
This is from the NFLPA.
All right.
Rankings are based on NFL player-branded merchandise sold from online and traditional retail outlets. Product categories include trading cards, game jerseys, T-shirts, hoodies, backpacks, wall decals, pennants, collectible figurines, photos, bobbleheads, drinkware, pet products, and many more. Top 50 NFL player sales. Yes, Bo Bishop in the front row.
Does this include rookies? Guys drafted this year.
I don't think so.
You'd know.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Can you tell me how many Cleveland Browns made the top 50 list?
Top 50?
Mm-hmm.
0.
Oh, no. I'm going to go,
I'd like 2 to be the answer.
I think 3.
Off-season Nate with the win. 0.
None?
0.
Top 50, I mean, if you had if you like Chubb, you already had his
Yeah, that's
jersey.
true. You already have Miles. We didn't have a new uniform this year to unveil.
No,
Yeah. Flacco too late.
too late.
0, huh? Wow.
So you asked about the top rookie.
Caleb Williams has
Yeah.
got to be in the top 10.
Oh, no. Not from the April draft class. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Last year's
Yes, last year's
rookie class. Okay. Because I guarantee you that Williams is number 1 now. Fields was number 1. Johnny was number 1.
Yep.
Like, you draft a quarterback, you're going to, at a historic franchise, you're going to go.
From last year's rookie class, C.J. Stroud, the highest at number 25.
Yeah. That's a late one, too. Like, you could get CJ jerseys all day long until December.
Correct.
And then it went nuts.
Well, we're trying to guess who's in the top 10.
We're
right?
doing top 10?
Yes.
All right.
All right. All right.
You don't have
Let
to
me just
rank them, but
All right. Let's
All right,
go.
see if you
You
get
want
it.
to just go one by one?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, God. I'm trying to So here's the other thing that's tricky here. I also have to think about who had new uniforms last year. Who were the new uniform teams last year? Atlanta was a couple of
No.
years ago. Arizona had new uniforms last year. Tennessee had new uniforms last year, right?
I don't remember. I don't know if that's going to matter.
It would matter if it was the right team, I guess, would be my thing. All right, so Lamar is obviously in the top 10.
no. No, he's actually not. He's number 19 on the list.
Mahomes.
Number 3.
Kelsey.
Number 4.
That's thanks to Taylor.
Yep. Joe Burrow.
Number 7.
Josh Allen.
Outside looking in. Number 11.
Christian McCaffrey.
Number 5.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Number 6.
Yeah, new team. Smart job by you.
That's we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I can't believe Lamar.
We don't have 1 or 2.
That's crazy. 1 or 2.
CD.
Parsons. Micah Parsons.
Number 9.
Ooh, just barely. CeeDee Lamb.
Outside looking in. Number 13.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Number 1.
TJ Watt.
Not in the top 10.
Good.
Number 22.
Tyreek Hill.
Number 14.
Jeez.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson is number 10.
Number 10.
JJ. So we're missing 2 and 8, right?
You are missing number 2 and number 8.
Nick Bosa.
No. Nick Bosa, 23. Thank you, Brock.
This might be Aiden Hutchinson.
No.
Number
Lions.
18.
Okay.
Are we missing like somebody super obvious?
Yes, and then one I don't think you're going to get. And the one I don't think you're going to get is number 2.
Really?
Yep.
Tom Brady.
No.
Jordan Love.
He is number 12.
That was a good guess.
That was, yeah. Who are we missing? That
Devontae Adams, Raiders.
Justin Herbert?
Nope.
Yeah, nobody cares about the
Nope.
Chargers.
Stafford.
Nope. I'm going down the list to see find Stafford.
Give us the team.
Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase is number 29.
Don't do
The
team. dude.
one
Give us division.
Who's the obvious
there are
one?
two.
That's the one
Both
that we're gonna be
players
like,
are NFC.
NFC.
the NFC.
Dak Prescott.
Nope.
All right, so it's not a Cowboy.
Number 20 for Dak.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No.
This is tough.
Really tough.
Debo Samuel.
33 for him. No Debo.
Kittle.
Kyler. Now we're just guessing NFC players. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to start giving it to you. You've guessed every player on the 49ers but one.
Fred Warner.
We've done Bosa. We've done Kittle. We've done McCaffrey. We got Debo, Ayuk.
No.
Who are we missing?
Javon Hargrave. He's a
Oh.
new signing. Brock Purdy
Yeah.
There you go.
is number
8.
all right, and
Oh
number
my gosh, I'm really I'm flummoxed on this. Number 2.
AJ Brown.
Nope. He beat his brother, though.
Joey Bosa?
Nope.
No, Diggs from the Cowboys.
Nope.
Oh, that was a good guess, I thought.
I got nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna
Beat his
One, Jason Kelsey.
Oh my God.
Number 2
Come
in
on.
merchandise sales for the year.
That seems to be outrageous.
Wow. No, we would have been here a while.
Yeah.
We would have been here a while.
I was shocked on the
Waiting
Purdy.
on
I'm like,
Jason
I can't believe he
Kelsey.
hasn't said Purdy yet. He's throwing out every other 49er.
You forget about him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, truly.
But
You just
number
do.
8, clearly enough
Yeah.
people know.
Jeez.
It's
Jason
the only
Kelsey,
verified
too?
rankings of all officially licensed NFL player products and merchandise.
You think that's the retirement boost thing that he got? Because that's crazy.
New heights.
I mean, the Eagles went 1-2.
Yeah. I knew Jalen made sense at 1.
The Eagles went 1-2 and the Chiefs went 3-4.
Yeah.
So of my original top 10, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I would have. The only ones I would
Burrow,
have.
Jefferson, McCaffrey, and Rodgers.
I would have had
And Travis. So
Hurts,
6.
Mahomes, Kelsey, McCaffrey, Burrow. They would have been in my original. I forgot about Rodgers, but that one made a lot of sense. All right, we'll get to the mailbag coming up next. Just to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, time for a little Mailbag Thursday edition of the program. It's presented by the Cross Country Mortgage Company, the official mortgage partner of your Cleveland Browns. When it comes to financing, we'll always get you home. Visit ccm.com today. Equal housing opportunity, NMLS 3029. Hello, Gibby.
Gentlemen, little news from the NCAA world.
All right.
The NCAA has presented a plan to Division I conference commissioners that would expand the men's and women's basketball tournaments by 4 or 8 teams, alongside an option to leave each field at 68, a source confirmed to ESPN on Thursday. The proposals were outlined earlier this week. The NCAA would keep its hold on. The NCAA would keep its 64-team bracket, but would add play-in games involving numbers 10 through 12 seeds.
It doesn't matter. They're all bubble. They'd all be bubble teams. Here's the thing that's interesting about this. It is not because they don't have anything in their television contract with CBS and Turner that allows them to renegotiate if they add more games. So they would be adding more games now for the next time that they do a television rights negotiation. That's what it's about. It's not about now. They're not going to make any more money out of playing these games. And the television partner is going to take it because it's more content. And live sports wins.
It says the NCAA is in the midst of an 8-year extension worth $8.8 billion that runs through 2032.
Yep. So it's really for 8 years from now.
Yes.
Yeah. And their television partners will take it because they want it's content. You'll take it.
Play-in. I mean, your whole season's to play in. 64 teams. Sorry, rest you go to the NIT.
Nobody nobody has any original ideas on how, and it's really expensive to make original programming. So it's compelling theater.
Fine.
More of it.
Yep.
And it's just what it is.
Yep.
That's why we're going to get 18 games in the NFL. I mean, it's why we have a 12-team football playoff. It's all just television shows, man.
Yep.
Truth. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, mailbag time. You can tweet your questions to us at Browns_daily. Ray Leposki. Z, if we golfed 18 and first 9, you watched my game, and on the second 9, I played your way. How many strokes am I improving? I'm currently an 18 handicap.
What's he saying?
I think he wants you to
help him,
watch him play for 9, make improvements, and then how much better would he be in the middle of the round?
This is a good question because Brock has questions about his footing.
I think I could probably save you a few shots immediately. Not necessarily even on like the swing per se, but on just like making good decisions or thinking your way around the golf course. I mean, I think I could help your swing too, but I don't know.
Here's the problem: is someone who's in his vicinity, maybe a little worse than him. It is really hard to fix something in a round.
Yes.
While you're playing. Yes.
And you have people saying, hey, try this, it just all goes bad. Like, I almost feel like once you're into it, just be committed to that. And then when it comes time, hey, let's get this sorted out. Like, you would get more if you went to the range with him for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and said, try this, this, and this, and apply these things for the next 15 minutes, and let's go play. Then you'd have a chance. But in the middle of it, it's
the
really
great Brian Butchko, formerly of Sweetbriar. Great pro.
Yeah.
Great. The best teacher. He just was like, here's your bucket of golf balls. Hit for 20 minutes. I'm going to watch, and then I'm going to correct. But I'm not going to redo things because you're 30 years old.
Yeah.
Like, we're not remaking it.
Yeah.
But we're going to tweak it. Tweak here, tweak there. Unbelievable.
That's great.
The best coach I've ever had.
I like that.
Shout out, B.
Good shout out, Gibby.
Red at work. Hot weather or cold weather?
Hot.
Yes. Best thing to do on a hot day and can't say golf.
Pool.
I mean, Zagur and I
Boating,
did. Yeah.
tubing.
Yeah.
Zagur and I did. All three of us played golf yesterday.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Really hot.
I popped a beer on the first hole, and I'm like,
victorious? Were you victorious?
Yeah. Yes.
Clean sweep for the boys.
Sweep.
I like to see that.
You love it.
Now I was playing a 12-year-old, so
who thought he was going to win?
Doesn't matter.
He thought he was ready.
He was ready.
It's coming.
He thinks. He thinks that a lot.
Not ready.
Video games.
Wasn't
nope,
there yet.
not today.
Not yet.
Basketball,
coming,
not today, Big Daddy.
I've decided I'm going to be gracious when it happens.
Good. My dad.
You say
my
that?
dad chose violence.
Yeah, I'm going to go gracious.
You say
I've
that.
got it in my head. I know how it's going to go.
I wasn't. It wasn't a complete meltdown, but the day 80 got me on the course, I was not. Like my wife was like, "Look at you!
Look at you!" Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want to talk about
I'm
it.
competitive.
We don't want it to. I don't want it to happen, but it's inevitable. And
I don't know. Maybe dedicate yourself to
Yep.
the game a little bit.
Wow.
I'll see if I can work it in.
Yeah. I got one from Brandon Moore. Said he'd taken his 5-year-old son to his first ever wrestling event on Saturday for AIW in
Let's
Akron.
go.
Let's go. We'll get you that graphic later. It's going to be very exciting. He says, in the spirit of this, what are your Mount Rushmore professional wrestlers of all time? So top 4 of all time.
Is it top 4 of all time or top 4 our favorite?
My favorite.
4?
I'm going to go Rock, number 1. Hogan, because that was like my childhood. I've always loved the Macho Man, Randy Savage, so I'm going to put him on there.
Yep.
And then I've got Stone Cold there, but I might just go completely off script because I loved him and he like really fueled my passion for a certain style of wrestling is Rob Van Dam.
There you go.
The whole effing show.
There you go.
One of a kind.
Mine are all from that era. So that was I was a Macho Man guy, I was a Warrior guy, and I was a Ric Flair. I loved Flair. But later, I came to understand Flair's act. Like in the moment, probably not. And then a guy I always loved was Ravishing Rick Rude.
So Rick Rude and Mr.
that
Perfect
guy.
were I
love that guy.
Oh my god, how could you
I
not?
just thought this guy
Rick Rude's amazing.
He's killing it. He
Amazing.
was so great. That whole operation. And you
Amazing.
hated him, but he was still just.
You loved him.
I loved him.
Mr.
I thought he
Perfect was great, too.
Perfect was great too, but I loved Ravishing Rick.
I got another one for you from Reddit work. What's better, first 20 minutes of Gladiator or first 20 of Saving Private Ryan?
First 20 of Saving Private Ryan's a little too close to home. That's an intense.
Dude. It's intense.
That's intense.
Gladiator happened long before
Yeah,
our time. Like this,
I don't know people who were there. Like they're different. Those are two totally
Yeah.
different things.
I also want to thank Mike for saying, just getting caught up on the show, your method is called a zipper merge and is 76% more effective at managing lane closure traffic. You're doing the Lord's work today. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I think people just don't understand it.
No, Preston follows up. Being some fellows who moved into Ohio from out of state, where do you rank Ohio drivers? I moved from Kentucky to Ohio. I firmly rank them top 2 worst drivers in the country, and they ain't 2. Go Browns.
Don't know what it's like now, but I can tell you from my college and then post-college experience in Atlanta, Georgia, that elite driving takes place there. Now, traffic is a problem, but when it's not, it's NASCAR, baby. It's the open road.
Yeah, what I like about the, and I didn't spend as much, but considerable time in Atlanta, was that everybody went really fast.
Yep.
And there was a lot of traffic. It was Talladega Nights is
Yep.
what it was every single time I've driven around there. Montana, we had no traffic, and the speed limit was 80. And when I was a kid, it was reasonable and prudent. Truly, no speed limit. So that was pretty wild. There's so many things that annoy me about here. Well, one of the ones that I find that this state does and no other place I've lived does is people will not get over once they pass. They will stay. How many times I'm on 71 South and there will be 3 cars going 77 miles an hour right next to each other, or 75 miles an hour right next to each other.
It's 70 miles an hour.
Or 70 miles an hour, whatever the number is. Get around and accelerate if you have to get over. Stop staying in the passing lane. Like in Pennsylvania, they ticket you for it. Like
Just
you get
hanging
over.
out in the left
Yeah,
lane.
they don't let you. Get over, or they ticket.
I don't know. I might be guilty.
hanging out-
I might be guilty of this.
If you hang out in the left lane and somebody comes up on
No.
you gotta get over.
The moment I see someone coming, I'm over. Yeah. But if I got clean air in front of me and the
That's
NASCAR
different.
and I've got the cruise set at 80.
But that's you're not. No one's running. You're not blocking anybody.
I also
Yeah.
think
You're passing most people.
Correct.
If you're at 75 and a 60, though, people should not be like running up on you.
Well, no, I don't think so.
But
I
are.
think in general, just get over.
Yeah.
Once you get around, get over.
Yeah.
David tweets at the show, Howe Road southbound in Strongsville, bottlenecks from 2 lanes to 1 past South Park Mall. I see it all the time. I've seen that, especially during the holiday season out there.
Don't do it, man.
Awful.
Just use both lanes. Zipper, we just heard 76% more effective. You're welcome. David Gray, 2-part golf tire. Are golf joggers okay? Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Juxtaposed to joggers, what are you wearing on the course when it's 90 degrees out? Are you tucking in the polo? Are you one brand or will you wear multiples? Shorts, and I try to wear white. I try to wear light. Like yesterday, I wore light gray, white. Mm-hmm. Try to go as much white as I can.
All light colors. Yep. I'll tell you a sneaky one that I learned in the South. If you can get the fabric right, and there's a lot of them, long sleeve is money.
So
that's perfect. A good one. Like that type of stuff. Anything that breathes, long sleeve, breathable fabric is the best for heat.
It's the best. Yep.
People here think I'm nuts when I they're like, "What are you doing?" Long sleeve?
Go to Florida.
Everybody heat it up. I'm like, no. Long sleeve keeps the sun off your skin, which cools you, and then if you get any breeze, it almost works as an air conditioner.
Just go when you see people who are late working in Florida on the reg in the sun. They're all wearing long sleeves.
I picked it up at FSU. The Florida State coaching staff wore long sleeve white T-shirts at every practice. I'm like, what are they doing? And that was it.
Beating the heat.
By
the way, I'm not tucking in my polo. No, they're made not to be tucked in nowadays, which is great.
I do think that there is a war that sometimes is being fought by morons at clubs about tucking in your shirt, and I just think it's nonsense.
One brand, or will you wear multiples?
Whatever.
This is what. All right, I want to hear all of your answers to this because I have an answer. What's the strangest thing a guest has done at your house?
Strangest thing a guest has done at my house. I can't think of much. I
would say this.
Well, my dad. Well, I think I told you that my dad ate from the peanut butter that said Buddy's peanut butter.
Yeah.
So I guess that would certainly qualify as strange.
I would say this. Had a guest after a party that spent the night, and there was no one else in that. Like that person stayed downstairs in the basement, so there was only one person down there. Hey, buddy, if you can't hit the target in the toilet, maybe sit down. Because there shouldn't be a puddle on the floor when I walk in. Like, what happened here?
Well, we had at my old house, there was on the second floor, there was kind of like a walkway across there, like a bunch of bedrooms this way, then a walkway that kind of went over. You could look from that down into the living room to another bedroom that was over here. And somebody thought that was the bathroom.
Oh, no.
You could hear it. You could hear the sound of it hitting carpet, and he looked up and like, "What are you doing, dude?" I said, "What, man?"
One or two.
One. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
Well, I mean, none of it's good.
No, but
one's more of a problem on the carpet, to be honest.
Depends.
Two's he's cleaning it up.
The consistency of the two is depending on that.
Of course.
My dad did. He has, now that I think about it, if just my dad alone, I got 50 of them. But I do recall him clipping both his finger and toenails at our dinner table one time when I came down. What are you doing? He's got his toe up there, like clipping it. Clippings going everywhere, like where we eat. He's an animal.
I walked outside. I sat outside. It could be snowing out.
What are we doing, man?
I had a guest.
We live in a society.
I had a guest who will remain nameless that didn't know how to use the coffee maker, and instead of being like, "Hey, how do we use this?" tried many ways and methods that ended up in the death of the coffee maker.
Was that guest there for about 8 or 9 days longer than you would have hoped?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Right.
Bobby has a few
Bobby's
questions.
got some great ones.
What is Zagur's theme song for AIW?
Going Down for Real by Flo Rida.
It's
got a good little intro and then beat.
Will Bo Bishop be AIW?
That's the plan. That's the plan. It's going to take a lot of driving, but that's the plan in Chicago.
Oh, really?
That's right.
We need to lose out. We got to lose out.
Oh, baby. We need it. I need my boy.
I know. I'm already looking at apps trying to hopefully it's a quick exit.
Okay. It's not going to be. You guys hang banners.
No, we don't. Not with this group.
Mount Rushmore is from Bobby as well. Mount Rushmore.
No, I don't want that. I'm overruling on the Bobby questions. Here's the Bobby question. Your favorite memory with your dad?
Seeing him in the rearview mirror when I left Montana. Out from under his yoke.
Oh, my God.
No, I think I told
I haven't met it.
No, I got a lot of great ones. I give him a hard time, but I got a lot of great ones. It was good. Yeah.
All right.
When I told him that I was getting the call of games, he cried. That was very sweet.
Oh my God, that's some real
emotion.
That's a great one. I don't have any of that.
Yeah. If you could watch one of these for the rest of your life and only one, which would it be? Seinfeld, Friends, or Curb? Friends, throw that out immediately. Curb.
Seinfeld.
Curb probably, but you are getting a lot more with Seinfeld.
But now we've got we got 120 episodes of Curb.
Do we have that much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you need.
It's probably I was watching some Seinfeld last night, and it was I watched a couple episodes, and it remains great. It really does.
I don't want to do a Mount Rushmore of 80 or 90s cartoons, but the cartoon, when I read that, the first thing that came to my mind was Gummy Bears. I loved that show.
We're big Gummy Bears.
Oh, my God.
G.I. Joe,
Adventures
Real
that are
American
beyond
Hero.
compare.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
Hiding.
High
Adventure that's beyond compare.
That's right.
Gummy
I can
Bears.
sing the whole thing.
I was
Mike's,
a big G.I. Joe and
G.I. Joe's great.
He-Man was my other one.
I was a big Heathcliff and the Alley Cats.
Yeah.
Heathcliff was good. Big Mike says, once my cousin stayed over and peed on my couch and didn't tell me, he just flipped the cushion over.
Jeez.
Yeah, I wouldn't be your cousin. You wouldn't be your cousin anymore.
It was clearly discovered, so I don't think he's welcome back. I don't think he's welcome back. What's one thing that can instantly make your day, Bo?
11 minutes from now.
Well, there's several things that I can think of that would instantly make my day.
Yeah.
It's odd. I don't know what it says about me. The first thing came to my mind was like all the things to do with like the kids. Like those things.
Because you're a wonderful father.
I don't know. Trying to be.
Listen, I know you read very important books.
Yes.
Do you love your kids? You're like Clark Griswold, the last great family man.
I am. I'm the one.
You're the one.
Yeah.
There are so many things.
All right, guys.
I'm easy to please.
That wraps up today's mailbag.
All right, there you go. There's your mailbag. It's presented by the Cross Country Mortgage Company. So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. 49th anniversary? Is that what I'm hearing?
49th anniversary of Jaws today. All the right movies. A.T. Right Movies on Twitter has an awesome 49-part thread.
They're great. I love that.
It's,
Love that handle.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
When did you see it? How old were you? Ballpark when you saw it?
Young enough to be terrified by it.
No, I did not. My parents didn't let me watch a lot of that.
I didn't get a lot of that either. It would have had to been on VHS, and I don't remember. I would say probably past the age where it was suspenseful, but not probably the age where it was terrifying.
Oh, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. And then I remember as a kid, we went to Universal Studios, and my dad had me sit in the seat that was right where Jaws would pop out of the water.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh, jeez.
And I thought I was dying.
That'll happen. God, Pedro.
Vicious.
And he just laughed.
Oh, my God. That was the funniest
That's
thing
the
ever.
greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Complete.
Maybe I should have asked Pedro what
To be
his
fair,
favorite father-son
you
moment is.
dressed up as
I did dress up as Michael Myers.
Michael Myers and
Third.
scared your kids
That's
pretty
true.
good.
That's true. Pedro and I have some things in common. We have a Victory Friday tomorrow.
Ravens win.
Ravens
Oh,
win.
gosh.
Boy, this one's got it all. It's
Sure
but
does.
the joy, you got to put yourself back in the joy of that night, and that afternoon, and then inevitably that
15.
Monday. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.